In an effort to slow the spread of infection, Governor Kate Brown enacted new laws by executive order today.
She ordered restaurants and bars to only serve takeout food and delivery food, and there's more. KGW's Pat Doris attended a briefing by the governor and major healthcare leaders today, Pat.
Right, Dan. The governor canceled any gatherings of 25 people or more in Oregon. And she said Oregonians need to do even more to change our behavior.
So I urge Oregonians to avoid any gatherings of 10 people or more. Number 2, restaurant, bars, and other establishments that offer food or beverages for sale are restricted to carry out and delivery only with no on-site consumption.
Also today, the major hospital systems in the Portland area agreed for the first time to stop competing with each other and share their resources, hospital beds and more. It's because they worry about a possible tsunami of very sick patients who will overwhelm the system, maybe even with everyone cooperating.
So if the current trends continue, the state of Oregon may need an additional 1,000 hospital beds and 400 ICU beds to accommodate the volume of patients by April 11th, based upon our forecast.
The supply of personal protective equipment is a critical problem that we're facing and the entire nation is facing right now.
So those are some of the reasons we're seeing these sweeping moves by the governors of both Washington and Oregon. Governor Brown also today said she will call a special session of the legislature in 2 or 3 weeks to address the new coronavirus problems. I asked her if she's thinking about closing the borders or shutting down all travel. The governor said no, not yet. Back to you.